Presentation of The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. It is 2 minutes past 4 o'clock, time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. We have a little bit of technical problems today in that the camera does not work, but fortunately for our listeners, or for our viewers, I should say, it's the one pointing at me that doesn't work, so they get to see your lovely faces. But our guest today from the Small Business Coalition, the CAPCIL affiliated, is that a good way to describe it, or is it
well, it's a CAPCIL program.
CAPCIL program, okay. We have Dia Welsh as well as Heather Cosby. So, ladies, thank you for showing up here.
Good to be here.
And folks, if you have questions or comments or just would like more information about the Small Business Coalition, 217-648-5510, the number to call, or you can send us an email at 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. And so let's get underway. So what is the Small Business Coalition of CAPCIL?
Would you like to start that?
Well, you can. It started in 2019 as a program through CAPCIL, the grant people. You can speak to that.
Absolutely. So it got started as one of our main funding sources is the community is CSBG, Community Services Block Grant,
Okay.
and they recognized years ago that let's back up just a little bit. So CAPCIL, one of our main mission, we're a poverty fighting network. So that grant recognized that one of the ways to help people in poverty is to, if our economy is doing well, then that's going to help everybody. So they wanted to put money towards helping small businesses and small communities, or smaller communities with some economic dollars. So back in 2019, where I had not started working at Community Action yet, but they had decided to put some of that money toward the Small Business Coalition, and that's kind of how it got off the ground.
Yeah, and at the time, 2019, our chamber had already closed, and there wasn't really an entity at the time that was just like a coalition of small businesses. We have a very strong downtown. I also own Flossie and Delzina's. I'm downtown, and we're really blessed down there with ladies that really run things downtown. But when you go outside of the downtown area, we kept hearing over and over again that people, there just wasn't much for businesses outside of downtown. Nobody organizing that, let alone the county, because this is countywide.
Oh, okay.
It is not just for Lincoln businesses. So reaching out into the community to try to coordinate efforts, we decided to do a coalition. So in 2019, literally just went into businesses, said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We got a mission statement together, and a lot of it was educational pieces, networking opportunities. And then I wanted to spend the first year really asking businesses, what do you need from us to make it stronger? I know how to run my business on a good day, and I couldn't go into someone else's business and say, well, this is what you need to do to run your business. Right. So we spent a lot of time going into businesses saying, how can we strengthen you? What can we do for you? All around the county. So that's how it started. And once we got our feet underneath us, COVID hit.
Okay.
So that changed the complete landscape of everything we were doing. And I think all businesses, not just small businesses, but small businesses in particular, kind of went into survival mode. So everything kind of got put on hold, so to speak. We did what we could. We were reaching out, no more meetings, no more, just trying to do what we could do, and then had to reevaluate after 2020 and businesses reopening. So it really changed how we did things for 2021 as businesses were opening back up.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I came along. I started at Community Action at the end of February 2021. So then there were conversations about kind of where they were and what did we see it being going forward. And so we decided to focus on education. What kind of information can we present to or give to the coalition members that would be helpful and beneficial for them in bolstering their business or little pieces. Last year we did a thing where we brought we worked with another group, actually we worked with Loyd, and they brought in grant writers, so experts at writing grants, and had a panel free for anybody in the community to come and ask them questions, and it was a really good meeting. They got a lot of good information out of that. We've done one with some social media, explaining how to make Facebook work for you, how to make not Pinterest, Instagram work for you, some of those other ones. We had the guy from, what other ones have we had recently?
There was the Power of the Pop-Up Shop, I think, was one of them.
Was
that just strictly Loyd?
It was Loyd.
Okay.
Right, and we work with Andrea, so we're not being redundant, or we just pull our resources together.
Sure.
That's what we did with the grant writing, and we've done it with a couple other ones, but and it's great working in tandem because there's another networking program, like a professional network group, and we all kind of do different things. So working in tandem with them, it just helps all the businesses and the community in general. So, at this point, we all invite everyone.
Right.
And everyone shares, because in a community our size, that works.
Sure.
That works. And tourism also. We've had tourism come quite a bit, and Alice is always really good at coming and explaining things to us. And we're also finding outside of Lincoln, just in all the way from Mount Pulaski to Emden and Atlanta, like everybody has their own kind of group that they do, but we might not know what they're doing. Right. Just coordinating those efforts to support one another in general. So a lot of times it's just communication, plain and simple. So we try to fill that hole that had been there. And I think we keep doing it, as we're still doing it to this day and improving in that area this day, because we just have each little community, each little town has had their own way of doing it, and we haven't really joined forces in order to do that. And tourism is a good piece of that, because Alice does a good job of making sure it's countywide and not just in Lincoln.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, it seems to me as of, I don't know, at least the last 18 months, maybe the last 2 or 3 years, there have been more sort of professional development activities with the items you mentioned. And then since I put our community calendar together, I'm remembering things like there was one about credit card fees.
Yep.
There was that pop-up shop one. There was the grant writing. There's another one that I'm forgetting. And then I think Andrea has held, I don't know if she's necessarily held meetings, but she always seems to have information about small business grants and things like that.
Yes. And she's very knowledgeable with the grants. And again, that helps. And our focus is so ground floor and grassroots. We are literally helping people that have had a home-based business, or even getting a home-based business off the ground. The one that comes to mind that's so near and dear to my heart is Missy Gaither. She went from a home-based business to a brick and mortar, and she's been very supportive of our coalition. And those are the kind of things that, just because I've opened a small business from ground up, literally an idea that came to fruition, and working with health departments and the fire departments and all the things and all the hoops that you have to jump through, it's nice to have somebody to go to, just to get that off the ground. Or we've helped people get a cottage license to sell baked goods, or work with the health department or whatever department you need, because there's a lot of them. Right. And it's not like there's a website you go to that has a punch list that says, here are all the things that you need to do in order to open your business, because there really isn't that.
Right.
So,
and I'm sure there are variations, like maybe you're opening a food type business, but maybe this one serves alcohol and this one doesn't, and so there's...
well, and the thing about our coalition too, how many members strong are we now? I think
we're at least 77, what you would consider a traditional small business. We've got a couple affiliate members and some government entities that are just supportive, but I think 77 true small, and actually probably a few more, because I think she picked up some new paperwork.
Just for the vendor show that we'll talk about in a second that are coming up. And they're selected too, because they've either come to us or we've seen, oh, hey, we can help you out. It's gone both ways. And it seems like one business will help another business. And even just the meetings that we have, every single time we have a meeting, somebody leaves with somebody else's card and says, hey, I didn't even know that existed. And a lot of your home-based businesses are like that. And in 2023, everything is online, everything is home-based, now more than ever. So I think you see a brick and mortar, you see the sign, you see the open sign, but there is so much business going on that it is from home now. So that's exciting to see, and every time we have a meeting, somebody leaves with information they didn't have before, because networking works. And I hate to say networking, it sounds so, I don't know, but it is networking at its finest.
And if they get papers from you when they leave, they might have a catering order on the back.
Well, this is true too. I can tell you, without going into great detail, that how I became the coordinator was through a catering job.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. So we're just 12 minutes past 4 o'clock. So once again, we're talking with Dia Welsh and Heather Cosby with the CAPCIL Small Business Coalition. If you have questions or comments, 217-648-5510. We'll go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with more about the CAPCIL Small Business Coalition. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at
And we are back on the 4
merealty.com.
p.m. 411. Once again, our guests are Dia Welsh and Heather Cosby from the CAPCIL Small Business Coalition. 217-648-5510, the number to call. Speaking of small businesses, tune in to the Viewpoint program tomorrow with Dara Entwistle. She will have Kathy Williams from Small Town Creations talking about small businesses and the Winter Wonderland activities in downtown Lincoln, as well as of course the name's escaping me, but the Saturday promotion they do with all their small businesses right around Christmas.
Small Business Saturday.
That's it. No, there's the Christmas Express.
Christmas Express, the program. Yeah.
I knew there was something in there. So, but she will be on tomorrow at Viewpoint's new time, 8 a.m. to 8:30. So feel free to tune in for that. But right now, as I mentioned, Dia and Heather are with us. So you mentioned, we're going to go back a couple questions. You mentioned how the coalition formed and going around to businesses and seeing how can we help you or what kinds of things you need. Were there any sort of like common themes or common needs that a lot of businesses seem to have the same issues?
I think, of course, the landscape from 2019 to present day has changed immensely, but at the time, what we were hearing a lot at first was, of course, advertising. They wanted a way to advertise. They also wanted a way, and that's when I started hearing businesses outside the downtown area saying, I feel left out of some of the, most everything we have now is downtown, like festivals and all the things. They felt kind of left out, like they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what was going on downtown.
Right.
They
weren't informed about it.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be the liaison for that, and I actually have just a lot of businesses that are around me that tell me what's going on all the time because I'm always working. But they're very good at communicating and making sure I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So, and speaking of Kathy Williams, very, very thankful for her. She keeps us all in line downtown. So that's a good thing. But then finding a way to incorporate other businesses into what we're doing, and the Third Fridays downtown is another thing, and a lot of our small businesses in our coalition are now part of that. They've become part of that, and then as our balloons over 66 grow, it's been a good way to get all of the county involved in our businesses outside of Lincoln to be part of that. So that has happened the last couple of years. That's nice, whether they're a vendor, a food vendor, or just have a stand, that takes all kinds.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm a small business owner. I'm interested in this small business coalition. You've sold me on it. I want to be a member. What do I have to do? What are the benefits to my business and to me as a business owner?
Well, you would contact Dia or myself.
Okay.
You would fill out 5 pieces of paper, and we're super excited in the way the grant is written that it's free.
Oh, nice.
And it was something for me, especially after 2019, I wasn't going to go into any business and ask for money.
Right.
There was no possible way. And as a small business owner that survived, we never closed. So we just kept changing and pivoting, as everyone did that stayed open during that, and our community was so supportive. Other businesses were so supportive, and we just all kind of banded together, and we did all help each other out. The businesses that stayed open, it was constantly changing, all the rules, all the regulations, and then the businesses that were closed were very supportive of the businesses that were open. It was a cool thing to see. So I would say you can come in. It is free. You fill out paperwork. You can be as involved or uninvolved as you want, but most everybody that wants to be in it is in it for a reason.
Right.
We offer educational pieces. We work with other entities like Loyd and work with their educational pieces. Something that we just started doing, Ronnie B. Photography, who was part of our coalition, has absolutely killed it. she takes pictures, she does articles, and promotes the small businesses. So and it's promoted on social media,
We've been
our
doing
website.
a monthly, business spotlight for these businesses that she's been doing.
Beautiful pictures, great articles. So that's been kind of nice. So we'll advertise for you free. We also, our big event of the year is a vendor show, which is also free to all of our members. The advertising and the spot, everything is free to our members. And as we move and grow, people just call us, and if they need something specific, we do our best to help that specific need for that specific business. So, and then we have Eaton, we have T-Mobile, we have bigger businesses that are corporate, and they help. They help too. It takes us all. We're a small community, so we have affiliate members that aren't necessarily considered a small business, but they help the small businesses and our coalition.
So one of the things we are going to hopefully do in 2024 that we are hoping to, one of the needs that we recognized more recently that's come about since COVID is people, we've been told, have been struggling to stay fully staffed. There have been a lot of job openings in the area, and we are hoping to help fill those positions for our coalition members. We are hoping to utilize some of Community Action's clients, but also just help find ways either through promotion on our websites or through grassroots, on the ground, knowing people, talking, get people, quality people into those positions. And so we can help everybody on both sides of that equation.
And that's a direction for 2024 because we recognized it as a need in 2023, the first full year that we haven't had both colleges, for instance. It really changed landscape for hiring for small businesses. There were hundreds of students that took positions, that filled positions, part-time positions, small positions, whether it be in food service or, like for me, I felt it at Flossie and Delzina's. I have always hired students, and it fills a need for them and it fills a need for me. So now we are, as small businesses, reaching out to the community to fill these positions, and it's much harder. So I think the proactive angle of taking families that need more income, or I think everybody has a side hustle at this point, and matching those, we're in a unique position with businesses. So we're going to take the people, hopefully, that need a different job, a better paying job, another job, a side hustle, vetting them a little bit, and then matching them with our small businesses. So it's very ambitious, but that's what we're going to try for 2024, and it can really change the landscape of the community.
Sure, absolutely. And, maybe there's a radio station somewhere that could help.
Yeah, that could help.
Get the word out somehow,
I know.
so.
I would love that card.
All right. Well, I think there's one on my desk.
Okay, great.
So, provided the cat's not sitting on it. So we are at 22 past the hour, so we'll go ahead and take our second break, and we will wrap things up here with Dia Welsh and Heather Cosby with the CAPCIL Small Business Coalition. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 for just a few more minutes with Heather Cosby and Dia Welsh from the Small Business Coalition of CAPCIL. And a few topics that were on our list here that we haven't talked about yet. This is a horrible transition, but I see Hand Up Project.
Yes, the Hand Up Project is another one of the programs I have in my department, and it is where we really try to help individuals and families move towards a more stable position or towards self-sufficiency. We hook them up with one of our coaches, and they talk through and evaluate kind of where people are at and what their barriers are to self-sufficiency. Is that a job? Is that needing to make more time for themselves? Just different, what do they need to do to help them move on that path forward to a more healthier, stable lifestyle? And we've had a lot of success over the last couple of years, and anybody that's interested in making those steps or needing just a little bit of hand-holding, we go through budgeting. We really try to make it prescriptive for each family, because every human is different. Everybody's going through something different. It's hard to make a model that everybody could fit in, so we keep it so we keep it as open and as flexible as possible, so we can meet everybody where they're at and what their needs are at. So anybody that finds themselves in that position, it is income based, so there's a intake procedure where we see if you're income eligible, but if you are, then we hook you up with one of our coaches, and we start working towards self-sufficiency, how we can help you move forward.
So we've been talking quite a bit about small businesses, obviously the Small Business Coalition. Some of those businesses, I guess, will be on display here at an event you folks are having.
Yes.
Tell our audience about that.
Yes. So we have a vendor show that's on December 3rd at the Lincoln Banquet Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Christmas and cocktails. So we handle the Christmas part, and then Greg Haji, however you know him and love him, he lets us use the Lincoln Banquet Center.
Oh, okay.
And he is going to have mimosa and holiday sangria, and that's where the sip comes in. And then the shop comes in we have 26 vendors this year. So this is our third annual, and I'm very happy to report that we have doubled in size every year.
Oh, wow.
So I guess,
52 next year?
Yeah. No. If we can do a quarter more next year, we're about out of. We don't even know how we're fitting everything, and we haven't quite done that yet. So, but we'll all fit. We'll all find a reason. But they are. I think we only have 2 out of county. There's 2 out of county that have ties to our community that have chosen to be in the show. But it is. We advertise for them for free. It's like I said, everything is free to them, and
it's a wide variety.
Oh my gosh,
vendors. There isn't a lot.
I'm not going to bore
overlap.
you reading all 26, but I mean we do have baked goods, clothes, jewelry. We do have Tupperware, Pampered Chef, Plexus, things like that. But I would say 75% of the vendors are artisans. Like they're coming, they're bringing something they have handmade to the show. So,
nice.
And we have been very selective of not doubling up or tripling up on items. We did double up on clothes because, well, it's clothes. And, but everything else is pretty unique to each individual, and they're all coalition members, and we'd like to see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just keeps getting bigger and better every year.
So once again, that's December 3rd, 10 to 2 at the Lincoln Banquet Center, 201 Madigan Drive, if you aren't unfamiliar with the street address. Got just a couple minutes here. Is there anything we missed or didn't cover?
Scholarships.
Okay.
I also think the Small Coalition, it's so perfect for community action, because it's an action in our community that we need, but they have so many programs that are already existing that we can offer I think they go hand in hand. We have a unique position with all the small businesses in Logan County, and they already have programs. The scholarship program is one, and I'm going to let Dia speak to that because she's better at it than I am.
The scholarship program, we have money available if you want to go back to school or if you want to do a trade school or a GED. Again, income eligible, but otherwise, if you want to, we've helped people get their CNAs. We've actually done a lot of high school equivalency classes. That seems to be more popular than the GED these days because people can do it at their own pace and they can take the tests and do everything at home. They don't have to worry about going into a testing site and doing all of that. So we can do higher ed, associates, kind of any way that you want to work towards.
I've never seen a program like it because it's not specific to an accredited college.
No.
Like it is everything from GED to trade school. There's discretionary spending.
That's true. Thank you for saying that. The one caveat is it does have to be an Illinois school. So it does have to be either based out of or going physically there or online based is Illinois. But yes, we also will help with if you struggle with getting gas, if you need help getting to the school. We've done that before.
Tools.
Yes, scrubs, if there's specialty things.
Work boots or
Actually, yes. And on that note, with the Hand Up project that we mentioned earlier, we've helped people buy the boots for Eaton because they are not cheap. They're like $200, $300. And if you are starting out or you haven't been working for a while, you don't have $200 or $300 to put up for that. So we can do a lot with shoes, tools, like
different
kind of
tools.
Whatever it is.
You start CNA school, you need a stethoscope. Like there's discretionary spending, and I love that you work with each individual because again, there's no template.
No.
So these are the things that this person needs to succeed. Here are the tools.
Yep, we try to make it work. We try to be as flexible as possible, and if it is a true need, if it is a true barrier preventing you from getting that job or going to school, we will find a way. We will try to find a way to help you.
All right, very good. So covered a lot here. If folks have questions, more questions, or they'd like to contact one of you about whatever, whether it's Small Business Coalition, the vendor fair, whatever it might be, are there phone numbers, emails? How can folks get in touch with you?
They can definitely call out to Community Action. I'm sorry, I should have that number off the top of my hand, but we do have a website that has all of that information and has all of the information for our various sites because we are across 6 counties, so we're not just Logan County. So if you are, we're Fulton, Mason, Menard, Payette, and DeWitt, any of those counties, we have places, but our website is CAPCIL.info. Thank you, because it used to be something else and it has changed. Thank you very much.
I just hear it on the commercials here.
Well, it works. It works.
The power of advertising.
Yes, it does.
All right, once again, Dia Welsh and Heather Cosby, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Sure thing. The CAPCIL Small Business Coalition. Once again, tomorrow at 8 a.m., Dara Entwistle will have Kathy Williams from Small Town Creations here talking about Christmas Express as well as the Winter Wonderland, and probably talk about the Christmas Parade and all sorts of other activities. But for now, I'm Loyd Kirby, and this has been the 4 p.m. 411. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.
you.